The Pacific Northwest is the ultimate playground for pretty much all things outdoors, but it comes at a cost. It is very difficult to keep your off-road vehicle clean. Whether you are daily driving on paved roads, exploring dusty gravel back roads, or hitting actual 4x4 trails, you are guaranteed to get your rig dirty. Luckily, we have companies like saltycaptain that provide products to help us protect our rigs from the dust, the mud, the salt, and the grime that ends up on our vehicles. So watch this video, then go check out saltycaptain's website and their Instagram to see all of the things that they offer to help us protect our rigs.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the channel and checking out this video. Today I get the awesome opportunity to test out the saltycaptain four-wheel drive wash kit. It comes with pretty much everything you're gonna need to wash your vehicle. As you can see, my Jeep behind me is pretty muddy. I've been letting the grime grow on it for the last few weeks. So it's got a nice layer of just regular dirt on it. And then today I went and found a few mud puddles and some dusty back roads to make sure it was extra dirty so I could put this kit to the ultimate test. So let's go through what they send you with this kit. You get a bucket with their logo on it. That's always nice. It even comes with a lid so you can, realistically store everything in here. It's got one of these dirt strainers that you throw in the bottom of the bucket. That way when you put your muddy wash mitt in there, all of the sediment settles to the bottom and it's not on your mitt anymore. Speaking of mitts, it comes with a microfiber mitt and a nice, very large towel. It comes with both a soft bristle and a hard bristle brush. This is my favorite part. I'm super excited to test this out. This is their foam cannon for your garden hose. They call it the captain's musket, so that's kind of a cool, clever name. And then you get 4 bottles of solution, and they also send you with the spray nozzles for those. I thought that was a nice touch. Here you have the four-wheel drive and RV wash. This is gonna be your main wash solution. saltycaptain grease attack for hitting those greasy spots. If you drive a Jeep, you know what I'm talking about. You get an interior cleaner. That's always handy because the inside of this thing is wrecked right now. And a glass cleaner. Let me pull you off the stand and show you how dirty this Jeep is right now. So as I already mentioned, since I talked to this company about this wash kit, I've been letting the dirt grow on this Jeep. I haven't washed it in a couple weeks. So there's a nice layer, you can see it in there, of water spots and just dust. Living in Idaho, we get just a lot of dust, dirty roads, and inevitably if you're driving around for a few weeks, your rig's dirty. It's really hard to keep them clean. So it's nice to have kits like this, companies like this that are gonna set you up with good wash equipment to make sure your rig stays clean. So on top of that base layer, today I went ahead and found a back road, found a mud puddle. Yes, I did drive through the mud puddle several times to make sure that this was extra dirty for you guys. But as you can see, it's nice and grimy. Even got the bike on the back, it's a little bit dirty. Very nice, healthy coat of dirt on there. And there's even some grease in there on the engine. So there's your before. So now I'm gonna throw you back on the tripod. I'm gonna go at it with washing this thing. I'm gonna test out all these products and then I'll talk about how I think it did. I'll give you a little more close-up of the products here. The different washes, the interior cleaner, the main wash, the grease attack, and the glass cleaner. And then what I really wanted to showcase was this musket. I don't know how this goes together, so bear with me as I attempt to put it together for you guys. It looks like it's pretty simple. Even got this little card with a QR code on it for the assembly instructions. I'm gonna go ahead and scan this code. It pops up with another guy's YouTube video on how to assemble that, or you can say I'd rather read the instructions. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It's got a diagram and some easy to follow steps. I don't know if you can see it on there. So the first step looks like it's gonna be to install these O-rings and rubber washers. The large O-ring is gonna go around the base here, just like that. And then you have 2 rubber washers. One is gonna slide into the back of the gun here. And then it looks like the other one go on this attachment. So this is your canister. This is where you put your cleaning solution. And it screws onto the bottom of the gun. Then this piece, the female quick connect, is gonna screw onto this end of the gun. And then you have these 2 different ends, and it's just gonna go and sit in there like that. So just to show you again, you pull this little collar back, you pop in the attachment, make sure it's in there nice and firm. And I believe this is your hose attachment. And then these 2 are gonna go together, and the same process. You pull back that collar, pop that in. There you go, you got your musket. So I think this is super cool, the captain's musket. All right, so now you guys get to awkwardly watch me as I wash the Jeep here. But I got the foam cannon on here. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get it together. You have this lever, and if you turn to the first one, it just sprays water through it. It's not going through the chemical pickup canister, but if you push it all the way to the front, flushes water into this canister, and then it will push it into the gun. Pretty neat system. So right now I have the regular wash end on it. This is just like a regular hose fitting, you know, like a hose nozzle. It has an adjustment on it, this little gray collar. You do kind of have to hold on to both ends as you turn it, but it allows for different fans, different volumes of water, right? And it has a pretty nice wide range. So I'm gonna start by rinsing off all the big dirt, all the big mud, and filling my bucket here. This musket offers a nice handle to hold on to. Very nice water volume. Gonna take this opportunity, this moment to point out, I do use coatings on this all the time, speed detailers. They're from different brands. Before I had heard about this company, before they were willing to work with me. So you'll see that it does bubble up, you know, the water beads off of the paint already. Except for on these black doors, because those have never been coated, as well as my rear windows. So those will be kind of the ultimate test point. You'll see, well, you probably can't see on the camera, but I'll show you close up. This surface, even after being rinsed, is still plenty dirty. So let me go ahead and finish rinsing this, and we'll get to soaping it up. The pre-rinse is done. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the canister now with the 4-wheel drive wash. Let's see what the directions say. It wants you to fill the clear canister with 30 to 50 milliliters of the salty 4-wheel drive wash. So go ahead and put 50 in there. All right, I wanted to show you, even after my pre-wash there, just how grimy this Jeep is, especially the black panels and the wheels and these windows. Up here is pretty good. Like I said, I use speed detailers on this pretty frequently, but you can see that there is some dirt in there. So now I'm gonna move that hose all the way to the front. See it foaming up in there? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and I just realized I made a mistake because I'm supposed to use the foam tip on this one. We'll go ahead and pull this off. You got your collar and the end pops out. And we'll use the foam end. It pops in. Check that out. Even foamier. Oh, I love it. We'll even do the bike while we're at it. It deserves to be clean too. Look at that grimy door. I'm gonna fill my bucket with water. Suds up my mitt. I also want to pay close attention to my wheels, and to do that, instead of using the foam cannon, I'm going to use one of the provided caps here for the spray bottle. I'm going to use the same four-wheel drive wash. I think that should work just fine. And I'm going to use these brushes. So there's the scrubbed wheel and tire versus the not. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's pretty dirty. So I'll go ahead and repeat the process. Got my cleaner. Just gonna spray all of it pretty good. So I want to go over it one more time with the foam cannon, just because it's kind of fun. And I'm also going to add this. I'm going to add in some of the grease attack. I was looking at the back of this, and it's got all sorts of uses. To degreaser, of course. You can use on your floors and walls, your barbecues, bathroom, house exteriors, trucks, side curtains for bugs, marine applications, carpet, plastic, vinyl, all sorts of stuff. And it's just a citrus cleaner. So it says to add a couple capfuls to your bucket when you're washing your truck. So I'm going to add just a little bit, maybe a capful to this, and then top it off with some more of the 4x4 wash. I did go through about half of this with this wash job. Thread that on, turn it on to foam mode, and I'm going to go over it, let it sit for a minute. It says the degreaser works better if you do that. And then I'll rinse it off and dry it with the towel, and we'll see what it looks like. Now we'll go ahead and dry it off with the provided towel. Oh, very absorbent. I'm not lying when I say that's probably the best towel I've used. Usually they get soft and wet instantly and leave streaks and dots and all sorts of stuff. This works pretty good. All right, so externally we're looking pretty good. I still got to move on to the inside, but I'll show you. And the only flaws you're going to see are in the Jeep's paint itself. Now this black door, I don't know if you remember, but it was pretty dingy. Cleaned up pretty good. It definitely needs a polish. I can see that now. But I noticed this, where I didn't get it washed. I didn't scrub very good down here. Look at the difference between the upper part of this rock slider and the lower part. That's what the whole Jeep looked like before the wash. So you can see there's after, there's before. It's looking great. Really looking great. You know, this is a 2003. The paint is pretty rough on it. I mean, the fenders and the rock sliders are rattle canned. Those doors are off someone else's Jeep, obviously, and they're pretty rough. They need a good polish. But as far as washing the Jeep goes, man, that thing really did a good job. Only flaws are where I didn't wash good enough, where I didn't get my mitt in there. Okay, so there's two products left to test. That's the glass cleaner and the interior cleaner. And I'm gonna test both those out on this door right here. All right, so we got the door panel and the window. I'm gonna take the glass cleaner, make sure it's on. You can see it's very dusty. Let that sit a minute. Do the same with the interior cleaner. So this one's for upholstery and plastics. I went ahead and grabbed some paper towels. That rag had some oil or something on it. I want to give this a fair shake, so we're gonna redo the window. Let it sit a second. Oh, look at all that black stuff that come up. Look at all that dirt that come up. Kind of gross because I just put these doors on. I bought them used, so that's not my dirt. That is very nice and clean. Go ahead and hit this dash. Don't judge my filthy mess in here. Let that sit a second. Now we're gonna wipe everything down. Stuff smells pretty good too. That looks great. Well, you can see that was just a quick wipe down. Not a full-on detail job, which this Jeep desperately needs. But it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Very clean. Okay, so we got to put all the Salty Captain stuff to the test. The glass cleaner worked great. The degreaser, I used a little bit of it. I'll test it out more in the future on the engine bay, but so far I think it works great as well. The interior cleaner works awesome. I was just scrubbing in there a little bit more off camera. I think it was pretty grimy when I bought it. I've had this Jeep for about a year. This stuff's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna use that all the time. And then the four-wheel drive wash, RV wash, this stuff works great. The Jeep is shined up. It looks better than ever. Now, just to highlight, this was my favorite thing that came with the kit, the Captain's musket here with the quick disconnect ends on it. So you have your foam cannon, then you have just a regular spray nozzle. The thing with that is even when the regular spray nozzle is on, you can still flip it over to the soap, the bubbles. And so if you missed a spot, you can hit it real quick with your soap and go back and forth like that, which I think makes washing a vehicle super easy. The brushes worked as expected, came with a nice bucket. Just overall, just a really great kit. All right, so huge shout out to Salty Captain for setting me up with this kit. I do appreciate it. The Jeep looks great. And as always, thank you guys for watching the channel, and I'll see you next time.
Don't forget to go check out Salty Captain on both Instagram and their website. I'll put some links in the description for you. I really enjoyed all of these products that I tested, and I think you will too.